Hello and welcome to the course preview for the Ashton Court Autumn One Day Tournament. This tournament is brought to you by Yeti Disc Golf Club and Tomahawk Discs. This footage was filmed by Duncan Fraser, edited and commentated by Tom Sutton, and your tournament director for this event is Tom Sutton. This footage shows the blue layout, which will be played by MPO, FPO, MP40, FP40, MA1, FA1, MA2 and MA40. Let's get into it. Hole 1 is an 136 metre par 4 with OB lining the left side the whole way. You can place your first shot out to the right to give yourself more airspace for the approach, but be careful. If you push the distance too far, you might find yourself in the OB pen on the right. Manage to get up far enough and you'll be left with a tricky tunnel approach shot up to the basket between two unforgiving trees with more perilous OB lurking to the left. Hole 2 is a 60 metre par 3, but don't let the distance fool you. This is one of the tightest wooded holes in the country. Hit the gap with a forehand or backhand turnover and let the skippy dirt floor carry you right to the basket. Hole 3 is a tricky 107 metre par 3. Fortunately for us, the staked off area you can see to your right is not OB on this hole. The hole plays as essentially a tunnel shot with a hard left fade into the woods at 100 metres. To have a look for the 2, you'll have to judge that distance perfectly or make an extremely long putt from this deceptively far away opening. Hole 4 is an 115 metre downhill par 3, with plenty of room off to the left for a layup. This hole can be a consistent 3, but if you want a chance at birdie, you're going to have to take on the tree to your right with a massive turnover or an even bigger forehand to get yourself into this low ceiling, guarded green. Hole 5 is a 55 metre uphill par 3. As one of the only holes on the course that average under par, this hole feels like a must get. Hit the gap with confidence and you should find yourself with a look for birdie, but with a chance of rollaways high on this scary green, you better make sure the putt is confident as well. Hole 6 is another uphill par 3, this time clocking in at 58 metres. With the steeper gradient of the hill and a brutal left to right slope to contend with, anything that hits a tree early could end up in trouble. You'll want your drive to be nice and close on this one, as this is one of the most treacherous greens on the course, with an elevated basket to contend with as well. They don't call it crow's nest for nothing. Hole 7 is a 71 metre par 3 with a daunting pen of OB slap bang in the middle of the hole. Take it on with a forehand or backhand turnover and you could be rewarded with one of the more consistent birdies on the course. Hole 8 is an iconic 290 metre par 5. The hole plays downhill the entire way but has some tricky OB to navigate. With a generous, mandatory drop zone about 400 feet down the hill, it pays to go big off this tee. On your second shot, you'll have a choice to make. Lay up to the bottom of the hill, try and split these two massive trees, or another big, right finishing shot could get you around the OB pen that surrounds them and into a good position. You'll then have a careful approach to navigate yourself up to the basket, though it should be noted, this final staked off area does not play as OB. Big scores have been suffered on this hole, but there is great reward for those who can execute it correctly. Hole 9 is a 73 metre par 3. The challenge of this hole comes from the steep right to left slope. While the longer grass has been known to be merciful at times, grabbing shots that would otherwise roll away, you'll have an elevated basket and OB long to contend with if you want to end your front nine with a 2. Hole 10 is a downhill 112 metre par 3, perhaps Ashton Court's signature hole. The pond offers an awesome view over Bristol and a chance to let rip. Don't throw too far though, or you might end up sending your disc to its watery grave. The water of the pond must surround the disc for it to be considered OB. If you pass the fence but your disc stays dry, you're still in bounds. Hole 11 is the first of two back-to-back 89 metre par 3s, with a huge OB pen covering most of the distance from the tee to the basket. This hole is the pinnacle of high risk, high reward. If you're not feeling up to the challenge, there is a safer area off to the left, but avoid that pesky pond, as wayward shots have still been known to find it. Hole 12 is an 89 metre par 3. There are two OB pens either side of a safe river of fairway, with the basket tucked tightly to the left. A backhand hyzer can get you into position for the birdie, but go too far and you'll have a death putt back at OB. Too short and you might clip the tree and drop out of bounds. Hole 13 is a gnarly 201 metre par 4. It's the hardest hole on the course, averaging over a stroke over par. Hit the gap off the tee or send a big hyzer over the top to get in position to the right of the mandatory tree. Then, it's another 100 metres of tunnel shots, with pens of OB dotted all along both sides of the fairway and surrounding the green. Sounds simple, right? Hole 14 is a 63 metre, right finishing par 3. Players must thread the needle through two OB pens around 55 metres off the tee. Though, neither of the trees shown are mandatories, so feel free to get creative. Hole 15 is a long par 3, measuring at 112 metres. Big Arms will relish the chance to send a disc out over these 3 tall trees with OB surrounding all 3 of them. If you don't have the power, you'll have to make up for it with accuracy. Pick a gap either side of the middle tree and send it. Or you could always lay up before the pen and play for the 3. But where's the fun in that? Hole 16 is an uphill 76 metre tunnel shot with OB lining both sides of the fairway. The OB curls away as you move up the hill, so make sure not to go out early or you could end up in trouble. Should be a simple one, but when you add in the sneaky crosswind that likes to blow across this hole, you could end up scratching your head as your disc goes sailing out of bounds. Hole 17 is the newest addition to Ashton Court, an 86 metre par 3 that lines up perfectly for the flex forehand enjoyer. If you don't have that in your arsenal, there's plenty of space out to the left for a layup, or you can try and thread the gap by any means necessary. You'll want to be nice and close to the green for this one though, as the basket is extremely elevated, and with OB easily inside circle 1, there could be some scary putts to make. Hole 18 of Ashton Court is an 156 metre par 4. It has 2 pens of OB that tighten up around the 60 to 80 metre mark before curling back out again. Do you send it off the tee for an easy upshot, or are you laying up before the OB gets too dangerous and going for the green from way back? Either way, you'll need to avoid the extra OB right of the basket for a shot to end your round with a birdie.